ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the All-American Savage Show podcast. What a day. What a day. Beautiful out here in Dallas, Texas. A little chilly out this morning. Oh, what a night. Oh, what a night. How are you doing, my man?
Good.
This is day 2 after the podcast about, excuse me, after the podcast about dating. And I have personal friends that normally don't listen to the podcast because they talk to me regularly. But they said they'd even tuned into it, and they said they really enjoyed it. So, and listening and looking at the actual numbers, I'm actually really impressed that we did really good as far as downloads and listens. So we're going to be implementing a little bit more of that stuff in these future podcasts. I'm not really sure what, but maybe every so often take a break from the politics and talk more real world experiences that involve people. From dating, love, to things like that. So it'd be interesting to take on stuff. So
just give some terrible advice.
Absolutely.
Spread it around.
That's what we're here for. Day 2, the Sergeant Major of the Army's personal affairs or public assistant, the PAO, public affairs officers, has actually reached out to me. He has DM'd me expressing interest in the Sergeant Major of the Army coming on the podcast for an interview. So
kind of a big deal.
It'd be interesting to have it on there.
Yeah.
It'd be very interesting to have him on there. Just to sit him down. And have an interview. I don't want to give away my questions, but I would love to have him on the show and actually have an in-depth interview with him. And again, like I said, I'll be fair.
Yeah.
I'll give him
fair,
time
respectful.
to speak. Respectful, yeah. Absolutely. As long as that respect is shown in turn.
Sure.
Absolutely.
Oh, obviously.
But, I'm just a staff sergeant. What does he got to worry about? I'm just an E6. I'm nobody. But anyway, thank you for tuning in this morning. I hope you're having a wonderful day so far. Apologies for the late start. We've got some great projects in the works here at Shell Shock CBD. We're going to be expanding our Kratom line. That's coming out very soon. We have some other strains coming out for people that don't know about Kratom. Yes, we carry Kratom. We have the Kratom gummies. Mm-hmm. We're possibly going to be carrying pill form. Because
I think that's probably the better way to go.
Yeah, because the Kratom gummies don't taste that good because there's no way to make them taste good.
Actually,
if you lick my butthole first.
Yeah.
Were you going there? You were going there first, weren't you?
No.
I was like,
Tyler and I sampled a couple, and
of the new ones.
Yeah, the new ones.
Yeah.
And there's red, green, and white.
Yeah.
So I tried.
Each has their own strand of what they do. One's for like energy, the other one's for like pain, and this stuff works.
They actually tasted pretty good.
If you go look up Kratom, this stuff works.
Yeah, it does.
It's insane. It's actually been used to get people that are addicted to alcohol, heroin, things that weans them off. Now, be warned.
Pills.
Be warned. Kratom does have addictive properties if you take too much of it. Mm-hmm. So you've got to remember that. But we do offer Kratom on the website on shellshockcbd.com.
It's middle of the road. It's not bad. It's pretty good.
Yeah. It just doesn't taste as good as the Halo gummies. I'll admit that. So the Halo those go down easy.
I'm a Green Apple fan.
I'm glad you did. I'm glad I did.
Bastard.
All right. So in the news, I had my Instagram messages get blown up. Apparently right now, this is a really good example. You know the Don't Say Gay bill, which is also called the Parental Rights Bill that was passed in Florida. DeSantis signed off on it. It's in effect. Disney is screaming at the sky. The alphabet mob is in a just panicked rage. Apparently now, this is the story I got. I want to read it for you. It says, a Tennessee lawmaker is trying to legalize child marriages in bizarre attack on LGBTQ2S. What the fuck? LGBTQ2, what the fuck? Like apparently the 2 stands for two spirits. Dude, you nut jobs, you oh my God. I'm not even gonna go down that road. You people are twisted. You people are just the weirdest fucking bunch of loons I've ever seen in my entire life. This is the LGBT. This is what they are. Like, you're a group of basket cases at this point. It's like you're pulling everybody under your umbrella. I'm telling you, to the homosexual community, you better distance yourself from these people. As soon as you let trans in, you started going downhill. But I don't want to focus on that. But anyway, if you go look this up, all over MSM, they're talking about this bill, that essentially there is no age range of a man or a woman marrying a child. I have read the bill. There is literally nothing in there about that. Nothing. What this bill does is protects legal officials from being sued. And I've got the bill here. I'm going to link it in the chat. You can read it for yourself. The reason I said the Don't Say Gay bill, this is what the MSM is doing now. They are clearly unintentionally misleading the public. This is how they operate. Because the Don't Say Gay bill, if you actually read the bill itself, literally says nothing about that. It basically says you cannot discuss sexuality, gender identities, anything like that with children. It doesn't specify one sexuality. It says any, which is fair across the board. That'd be the same as saying you can't talk about certain races except white people. That would be unfair. That would be bias. But if it's everything, it's all or nothing, that's fair. And the simple fact of I don't want a 30, 40, 50-year-old weirdo talking to my child about sex. It's not your role. So, in light of that, you saw how all the A-list Hollywood celebrities, the Ron Perlmans out there, he's like one day away from death, God willing, out there just, don't say gay. Fuck you. I'll say gay all I want. Well, you're right, Ron. Stop being gay and read the bill, you moron.
Let me talk to your kids about sex.
Let me talk to your kids about my penis.
I'm Ron Perlman.
I'm Hellboy. You're fucking weirdo is what you are. They're doing the exact same thing with this bill. They're doing the exact same thing with this bill. And also, half of them don't even understand how the bills work. Like, when they introduce it, it goes through a series of changes. They can add amendment. They can take stuff away. It's kind of like a whole negotiation process. So if you go Google this, and I challenge you if you're listening, that way if you watch on Twitch right now, I've got it pulled up. I'm going to show all of you this bill right here. And I will link it in the chat so you can look it up for yourself. It is House Bill 233 out of Tennessee by Leatherwood. An act to amend Tennessee Code annotated Title 8. Now, it's not a very long bill, and the amendments have already been put in place as far as the specific age ranges, apparently. I haven't found that yet, but I'm reading reports saying the bill has already been amended. What the MSM did is they took this bill and they essentially attacked it for what it didn't say. But it has nothing to do with that, like adults marrying children. It basically was in reference to, I forget what's her face, the lady that denied the same-sex couple the marriage license, and they went after her.
Yes.
This was years ago.
Tennessee or in Kentucky?
I forget where it was, but this is in relation to that.
Yeah.
And they did a step in the right direction. They're basically saying that a man and another man can legally get married. So the MSM rather, is taking this bill and they are running with it, saying, this basically doesn't say anything about this. Like, well, it's kind of common sense that you can't marry a child. But apparently amendments are now being put in and added to the bill saying, well, clearly, guys, common sense. I'm pretty sure there's already laws that exist that you cannot marry children. Pretty sure. Just going to take a guess. And then people started going into depth on, well, with parental rights, like, yeah, that's with parental rights. If you request parental approval to get married, stuff like that, I forget what the actual age range is on that. But the same token, they have grossly misrepresented this bill. So if you're interested in reading the bill, it's not very long. I have read through this thing twice. I am not seeing anything. I'm not seeing anything in relation to actually legalizing an adult marrying a child. In fact, let me just look this up real quick. I want to look this up real quick as far as can an adult marry a child in Tennessee? GOP. This is just the first thing that got pulled up on Google. Is Daily Mail says GOP bill would eliminate age requirements for marriages in Tennessee to establish a common law union. The Tennessee legislator files amendment to anti-LGBT marriage bill amid age limit backlash. Tennessee marriage bill called horrifying as law could see children wed. They are running with this. And if you read the bill, there's nothing in there about it. So when you click on these things, these people think you're stupid. Tennessee Republicans push hard that would allow bill to match. Tennessee Republican pushes bill to allow child marriage that would scrap the state's current minimum age of 17 before couples could tie the knot. Bill sponsored by Tom Leatherwood, 65, has introduced a bill into Tennessee House that would eliminate age limits for common law marriages. Leatherwood said the bill proposed an alternative form of marriage to those who conscientiously object to the current pathway to marriage. This legalizes homosexual marriages. They're attacking a bill that's actually helping them. They're actually saying, like, oh my God, they're basically saying that men can marry children or women can marry children. Like, what? So, essentially, if you look at this bill right here, to defend any action against the local official or any political subdivision of the state for adherence of the duties, responsibilities, limitations, blah, 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 you can read the bill. It's literally 2 pages long. There's another part of this that I've actually looked up as well. I'm not seeing there's not a single word that mentions children. I'm not seeing it. I have read this thing. And trust me, because when somebody sent this to me, I was like, the GOP is backing this? Like, hold on. Like, Republicans said, wait a minute. So I pulled this up, and I'm like, I just had a feeling that this is not real. This would be career suicide for any politician in this day and age to propose a bill that would allow children and adults to marry in America. Or in Tennessee, excuse me. I'm not seeing it, ladies and gentlemen, but this is what the press does. They even link the bill in the article, but they know that you, the viewer, the listener, will probably not go look at it and read it for yourself. Because let's be honest, a lot of this is a little confusing to read. You have to decipher through a lot of acronyms, a lot of numbers, a lot of legal mumbo jumbo. But when you get to the meat and potatoes of it, I don't see a single thing here. I don't see a single thing here. This was a lie. This is a gross nothing burger. But this is what the MSM does. This is what the MSM does to confuse you. Now, I am warning you, if you listen to the show, you need to tell your friends. You need to tell all of your family. The MSM, the extreme left-leaning mainstream news, is going to double down on this. There is going to be so much misinformation being blasted out through the channels come midterms. This is going to increase tenfold. I guarantee it. I guarantee it. It is up to you, the consumer, to decipher the bullshit. And the best way to do that is look the bill up yourself. Look the bill up yourself. Now, these same news outlets that are covering this bill, they're also covering Ukraine. They're covering the White House. They're covering state issues. They are liars. How? And the thing is, like, legally, I don't think they can be held accountable because the bill doesn't say you can or can't. It has nothing to do with it. So it's just kind of like you're reporting on nothing. And I'm sitting here when this first crossed my feed. I was just like, this can't be real. The GOP would never go for this. No senator, no congressman, nobody would ever on the side of the GOP would ever endorse this. So once you pull this up, I'm going to link it for you one more time. Here you go. There's the link to it. Go read this bill. It's out of Tennessee, HBO 233. House Bill 233. And I think there's another one, 5 something. I pulled it up earlier. I read through that. There's nothing there. There is nothing there. And look, you know what's so sad? You know what's really sad about this? Is that it just took me literally 5 minutes. It took me 5 minutes to just look at this bill, glance over it, and it's like, I'm not seeing what they're referring to here. But other people will not, and the media knows this. Ladies and gentlemen, we live in an age now where you do have to do your research on stuff. You cannot rely upon Fox. You cannot rely upon CNN. You cannot even rely upon me or Josh. You need to do the research for yourself. But the bad thing about that, and that's why I've talked about this, the day and age of tech giant overlords, now Google can manipulate what information you can easily find and is easily accessible. Even DuckDuckGo has been doing this. We are living in insanely dangerous times, ladies and gentlemen, as far as misinformation goes. Trust me, I have people lying about me right now, and I'm not getting into it because it's going the legal route now at this time. Well, I'm not going to get into that, but you cannot believe everything you're told and everything you read. You've got to apply a certain level of common sense. That's what people talked about, like over and over through the MSM, all the stories I see of this bill, and I am just stunned that these supposed journalists, would endorse this, would even publish this nonsense.
No, they're not. They're activists.
They're activists. They are political activists with a pen is all they are. Now, again, even if the bill didn't say anything about an age range or anything like that, and now they're adding amendments, it's like, okay. That's fine. That's what a bill goes through. So people are like, oh, shit, I forgot to add that. Let's add that. Do you really think that Republicans would really stand for a grown-ass man to marry a little girl or vice versa? Like a Tennessee of all places? Like, really?
Well, is there any language about marrying animals?
Good point. No. So I guess this endorses people marrying animals.
Inanimate objects?
Yeah, I guess. This is what they do. This is what they do.
Scarecrows, anything like that?
Dude, it's pathetic. It's pathetic. So.
Isn't there, I thought I heard a story that some dude married his real doll. Like
I wouldn't doubt it. His little sex doll?
Yeah.
Good for him. Bro, in this day and age, I'm so burnt out with dating already. It's like, I'm considering it. Would you ever get married again? Well, is she plastic? Because, maybe. Who knows? But, man, I'm just, you saw it here, folks. And that's the way it is. That's the way the cookie crumbles.
And that's
Were you going to say that? Apparently, Josh had read an article that Alec Baldwin supposedly was going to host a game show and it got canceled or something.
Oh, yeah.
What was this?
Just that he was going to host a game show in the ABC.
I wonder what the name of that game show would be.
Shoot from the hip? I don't know.
Oh, my God.
What was that? I'm trying to find it now.
Oh, my God.
They said it didn't have anything to do with him killing
Bullshit.
killing a guy.
Bullshit, it didn't. Even Alec Baldwin doing like finger guns makes people very nervous. Like, careful. We don't play with that. We don't play with that.
It's got nothing to do with you killing a guy.
Absolutely. We keep saying guy and it was a girl. Alex shot a girl. Oh, my God.
It hits the ear a little bit better, I think.
Yeah.
Alec killed a guy.
We should put that on a shirt.
Van licked a butthole.
Van had his butthole licked.
Had his butt, yeah.
Good for Van. You ever had a rim job?
No.
Really? You never had your butthole licked?
I'm afraid not. No one's been brave. Unfortunately.
You don't know what you're missing, buddy.
I guess.
The old swiperoo.
It's supposed to make your drink taste better, too, I heard.
Why is there corn in my teeth after? Oh, my God. Jeez. All right, we got to stop. And this is exactly why we will never be on Fox News. Oh, my God. All right, so there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. One more time, just for everybody, just in case you didn't see it before. Here is the link to the bill. You can go give it a read. It's a nothing burger. It's a lie. The mainstream news knows what they're doing here. It's all bullshit. And even on this Tennessee child marriage bill, all these MSM outlets are just sitting here. Tennessee's child marriage bill pushes another purpose, gutting the same-sex marriage. Tennessee lawmakers consider a bill that would separate gay and straight marriages. Yes, that it protects both. Like they're attacking something that's actually good for them. Like, you people are stupid. You're stupid. But it's simply all they're trying to do is just trying to energize the voter base. That's all this is. That is all this is, because they know, these journalists know that this is going to sit there and protect them. It's going to protect people and the sanctity of individual marriages between a man or a woman, or a man or a man, or a woman, whatever the case may be. You deserve to be miserable just like everybody else out there, 100%. But your attack, it's just like friendly fire. Like, this is how dirty and disgusting politics is. And I'm just...
So disgusting.
It's horrible.
Did you see that transgender in California get paid for being transgender?
Oh, yes. Apparently, this is a thing now. Hold on. Marjorie Taylor Greene's back in the news. Apparently, I'm trying to find the article. I had to restart the computer before we started. She's going at it with Jimmy Kimmel. Here we go. Here's the article, and I'm just kind of like, oh my God, this woman is like she's a congressional Karen. Marjorie Taylor Greene says, let me just read this for you, okay? Now, Marjorie says some good things from time to time. Marjorie also says a lot of stupid things from time to time. Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene has repeatedly brushed off and at times defended the violence at the Capitol. I'm not even going to, this is all bullshit right here. Anyway, Jimmy Kimmel said on his show, he said, this woman, Klan mom, dude, I'd sue him for that. I would sue him for that.
Oh, absolutely.
Calling me a Klan mom, I would sue him. I would sue the shit out of him for that.
The same guy that dressed up in full black body.
Exactly. This is a guy that did blackface multiple times. He has room to talk. He says, but this woman, Klan mom, is especially upset with 3 Republican senators who said they'll vote yes on Ketanji Brown Jackson, who's nominated for the Supreme Court. She tweeted, Murkowski, Collins, and Romney are pro-pedophile. They just voted for KBG. And then Jimmy Kimmel went on to say, wow, where is Will Smith when you really need him? Okay. It's a joke. I mean, do I think he's serious? Would they love to see Will Smith smack the shit out of her? Probably. Mm-hmm. But this is a joke. Marjorie Taylor Greene responds with this. At ABC, this threat of violence against me by Jimmy Kimmel has been filed with the Capitol Police, she wrote on Wednesday, along with a clip of Kimmel's joke. Okay. What? Marjorie, come on. Come on. This is what the left does. Yeah. This is stupid.
I think that's why she's doing it.
This
Because
is
that
it's
is
just
what the
dumb.
left would do.
Yeah,
And
I know.
like
It's
if,
exactly what the left. This is what AOC would do. It's like, dude, don't sink to that level.
Like if James Wood would have come out and said something like that.
Yeah.
And they would be like, James Wood's
and then they just
advocating
use
for
these.
violence against women.
They just use these as sound bites against her from here on out. And I'm like, oh my God, this is so stupid. It's kind of like saying, well, you say that, I'm going to go tell my mom.
Yeah.
Jimmy Kimmel is not threatening violence at you. He's making a joke, saying that he wants to see Will Smith smack the shit out of you. And truthfully, I mean, I think a lot of Democrats probably do. I understand that. That makes sense to me. Like, is this really a threat of? This is not a threat of violence. This is a joke. But this is a problem. Not just with the right and the left. This is a problem in general. That now, if this is the route we're going to go, we have to police language and jokes die. This is stupid.
It's a basic, lazy joke.
It is. And Jimmy Kimmel, of all people, shouldn't be making these jokes. This guy gets up there and literally cries crocodile tears for health care. And, the poor need it. While I sit there and act like Karl Malone and I'll do my little racist sketch. And then the left just laps it up. Oh, you love yourself some of that racist dick. Love me some hypocritical Kimmel. Now, I tweeted out, why couldn't Kimmel have told that joke at the Oscars and Will Smith smacked the fuck out of him? That would have been great.
Yeah.
Is that me calling for violence? No, it's like, I wish that would have happened. That'd been hilarious.
I would just like to have seen it.
I wish he would have been on Alec Baldwin's film. I mean, I'm just saying.
Played opposite of Alec Baldwin.
Pretty much. Yep. So Marjorie Taylor Greene's going off about that, and I'm like, oh my God, this is just dumb. This is just dumb. This is what we're focusing on now? Okay. So
Weak.
now, some good news. Now, I don't know if this is trolling or not, but apparently Governor Greg Abbott of Texas here, who is currently in a runoff with Beto O'Rourke, who is just digging himself a grave as he speaks. Everything this guy says is just stupid. He's standing for like, don't mess with trans kids. This guy is the biggest flip-flopper. But anyway.
What does he do for a living?
Grift.
Because he's not
run people over and then run away.
He started off as the mayor of El Paso, and then he ran for Senate, failed, ran for president,
failed.
Yep. Now he's going to run for governor. Like,
this guy doesn't know. Like,
is his job running for different government
I think so.
offices?
And he just holds on to all this money and stuff. Yeah, probably. Yeah, that's where we're at. So, as we sit there and I was reading the article, Governor Greg Abbott, I just want to see if he actually does it, but apparently is now utilizing buses and taking illegal immigrants and driving them to Washington, D.C. to drop them at the Capitol steps. Now, is this theatrical or is this real? Now, there are many people out there saying, oh, this is great. Even I was like, this is the greatest troll of all time. Do I think he'll actually do it? Probably not. But it would be funny as hell if he did. But realistically speaking, if we take a step back and look at this overall, all we're simply doing is moving the problem from one area to another. And people are going to say, well, let liberals deal with it. They're already dealing with it. These blue cities are shitholes. They're already dealing with it, and they don't care. But it is kind of funny. I will give you that. At the same token, it is these southern border states that are tired of dealing with these issues. And once again, the federal government fails to do its job at securing the southern border. Now, there are calls that basically the experts are saying now that with the repeal of Title 42, I think Biden just did away with, I forget what it actually represents, is that now they're basically saying this is going to cause one of the biggest and largest surges of illegal immigration in the history of America. Well, maybe not the history, because that would be like more like when we came over and colonized it, and the Native Americans like,
no, I think this is probably more.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, you're right, because it wasn't like millions of people came flooding over.
You know, fit so many people in a boat. These people are just
this is true
walking across the continent.
We should do a porn called Bang Boat.
Bang Boat.
Instead of Bang Bus, it should be Bang Boat.
Boom.
Like old sails and everything, like rocking back and forth.
So, do you know how much?
Yeah, take off your pants, me lad.
Do you know how much Beto O'Rourke is worth?
How much?
$9 million.
How?
This is great. He's an American politician and businessman who has a net worth of $9 million. Let's see.
How is he worth that much?
Recent congressional wealth disclosure. He owns at least $3 million worth of real estate and $6 million worth of other investments. Like, where do you get all of his money from? Like,
I would think
$9 million.
I know there's laws. There are laws regarding campaign donations that if you run and you fail, I forget what it is, because I think, who was it? It was another lady who was running as a Republican, and they'd accused her of reallocating campaign donated funds because I think you're supposed to give it back if you don't quote me on that. I'm not 100% certain.
I thought that's what you had to do as well. Like,
I think so as well.
To,
so it does make me wonder: is like, did he actually reimburse the people all the money they pay, or like
or
what?
Would it have to go to would have to go to the DNC, like the party itself, and then they distribute it from there?
I think it's optional. Honestly, I need to look this up because this is actually some good information to learn. But I think it's optional whether you. I don't know. I genuinely don't know.
I mean, that sounds like how it works. I'm not 100% sure either, but
That's
it sounds like if you were running as a Democrat or a Republican, that you would have to.
I need to look that up. That's actually a very good question. I'm not sure.
Give those funds back. That's why they have like the.
Yes, Kim Kleklik of Valhalla. Thank you very much in the comments on YouTube. Kim Kleklik was accused of. Now I don't know if it's true or not. I am not accusing her of that. But there were accusations levied towards her from fellow GOP members that after she lost, she apparently used that money to do non-political things with. I'm not sure, but. I mean, that's, political accountability and oversight is definitely needed.
Oh, 100%.
When you're donating to a campaign and they lose, that money should be reimbursed. What can be reimbursed? Because at the same token, how do you prove, like, whose money was spent on what? Like, if you and two other employees paid me $100 each and I spent it on signs and advertisements,
right?
Do I just take the whole lump sum and then divide it equally amongst the three of you and then reimburse it back? I mean, I can see that. You're not going to get your full amount back.
Yeah, I don't think it goes back to the people who donated, but it just goes to the party itself.
Yeah, and I'm sure they're doing vast amounts of great things with it too.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Well, apparently he's worth $9 million.
Yeah,
That's
right.
$3 million worth of real estate and $6 million in investments. Like, what? How does that happen?
That's all politicians in general.
I'm telling you.
That's all politicians in general. Newest article: things are heating up. I'm not saying this to freaking get you guys worried. Things are heating up. U.S. and Poland to hold joint military exercises near Ukrainian border. Biden recently visited area of upcoming exercises during trip to Europe for NATO summit. A State Department source tells Fox News on Thursday that the U.S. and Poland will hold joint military exercises tomorrow near Rzeszów, about an hour away from Poland's border with Ukraine. President Joe Biden had visited the city during his trip to Europe for a NATO summit in late March. Tactical and fire training at the training ground in Nowa Depa is to deepen the interoperability of Polish and American troops and to harmonize Polish military units. The Polish military said in a statement previewing the military exercise, they're flexing on Russia, is all they're doing. They're flexing on Russia. They're showcasing that America and Poland are working together, and that if Russia continues, it will be America and Poland, I think, probably making the initial push. I really feel that. Because you got to remember, it's like when you're doing something like this, when you're doing an exercise in the middle of an invasion, it's basically saying you're flexing because they know Russia's watching. They know Russia's watching. So now they're trying to flex their muscles, saying, if you keep this up, if you push, this is what you're going to be facing. So the subunits of the 18th Mechanized Division and the 82nd Airborne Division will be exercising mainly with the support of the 25th Air Cavalry Brigade and soldiers from the 3rd Subcarpathian Territorial Defense Brigade, the statement continued. The training will include shooting from PIO runs, man-portable air defense systems, and javelins, anti-tank guided missiles known for their effectiveness in combat and combating Russian troops in Ukraine. Poland's minister said strengthening the eastern part of Poland and NATO's eastern flank is one of its top priorities. Now, here's the deal. I don't blame them. I think it's a smart move. Mm-hmm. You do have to be prepared because if Putin does take it and Poland's there, it'd be stupid not to have people ready to go. It's kind of like box them in as much as you can. So if Poland could be potentially the newest target after that, I don't think he's going to do it. I really don't. Because he already knows. He's taking some severe beatings right now. Like if I was Putin, I'm just like, bro, we can't even take Ukraine in the time we thought we could. Kiev is providing very difficult. By the way, we haven't even taken on an actual conventional army yet. Mm-hmm. So if we can't take it from the Ukrainians, what are we going to do against the Polish and the Americans?
Right.
That's why I feel like this is probably a smart move. I actually approve of this. This, I think, honestly serves more so as an effective deterrent. I think it's a smart move to make. Mm-hmm. It's kind of like, the dude standing there like trying to impress this girl's like, look what I can do, and you're like, pow pow pow, do something like really like punch a punching bag or some shit like that.
Do
it's
that
like,
again.
Pow pow pow, pow pow pow. If you're not watching on Twitch, you don't want to see what I just did. It was the most girly series of air punches I've ever thrown in the microphone's in the way. I can't get a good shoulder into it, but whatever.
Right.
It's all in the hips.
Okay.
But
I got you.
It is also said the U.S. now has more than 10,000 soldiers stationed in Poland. Additionally, the Americans have deployed 2 Patriot batteries in Poland. The statement read, It is an expression of allied solidarity within NATO and mutual guarantees of alliance's security. We're living up to our alliances. I respect that. 10,000 troops doesn't see enough. I know when this war started, they said NATO had 40,000 troops ready to go. That was not including American forces. I think initially we committed 7,000. Now they're saying there's 10,000 in Poland. So things are ramping up, and we are over the first month of fighting. The war's still raging in Ukraine. And the MSM is continuing to report things left and right. We don't know what to believe.
Yeah, I think
we don't know what to believe.
I think they're hoping it would only take 72 hours.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Because then it'd be over and done with. This whole thing blows over. But the fact that it's taking even longer, I think it has a lot of people in Washington very worried because it's like, fuck, dude, the way the MSM has been these last few weeks, it's just been, you can't believe anything they say. And we're covering some articles today. We're going back to Hunter Biden's laptop, but now apparently they're talking about there's an open and shut case, according to officials, on going after Hunter Biden for tax evasion. I'm kind of like, isn't that the same tactic they took on Al Capone? Like they couldn't get him for anything except tax evasion. And they got him put away for that.
I feel like you could go after just about anybody and get them on something.
Yeah.
As far as their taxes go.
Yeah.
They could just go through your stuff, your financials with a fine.
These people, that's the sad thing though, is like nobody's going after them.
Yeah.
Like when you have a politicized FBI and CIA, like what are you supposed to trust? Like where's the justice?
Doesn't seem like there is any.
Doesn't. Nancy Pelosi tests positive for coronavirus after spending time with Joe Biden. Okay, I just want to say this. I want to get this out of the way.
It was a combined
I just want to say this. We're all thinking it, but I'm not going to say it. We're all thinking it, but I'm not thinking it. We're all thinking it. But I'm not going to say it. But you know. You know. Oh, please, God. Please, God.
I hope they
2 for 1 deal, please.
I hope they get better.
I hope they get better, please. Please. I don't want to say it. I don't want to jinx it. But how awesome. How awesome.
They're both.
Trump doesn't have a plan for COVID.
Yeah. They're both well over 100 years old.
Oh, my God. You know it's not going to happen.
I know.
You know it's not.
Let's say she's asymptomatic.
They probably took ivermectin. She probably
know.
took like some horse dewormer. It's like, don't tell anybody I took that now.
You know they do.
Absolutely.
Probably taking heavy doses of hydroxychloroquine.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Oh, my God. That'd be so funny. I'm not going to lie, though. That would be something like we're having an office party. We are having an office party.
I question whether or not they really got vaccinated.
Oh, I bet they didn't. I mean, really think about this, though. If you're the leader of the free world, if you're the leader of America, rather, and this is an experimental vaccine that has no long-term clinical trials, and you are in the category or the age range to where, like, Joe Biden is probably very compromised immune system. He's already suffering onset dementia. This guy's got some serious issues there. Mm-hmm. You know, are you really going to jeopardize yourself by giving them an experimental vaccine? Like, dude, I don't know. I don't think that'd be the smartest move. That's what I was saying. Don't force it on the military because we don't know. You're taking a huge gamble on this. Because what if it is a bad vaccine? And we still don't know.
Yeah, you don't know.
We still don't know. We still have years and years to watch.
Coming out there talking about
and how they keep suppressing all that information. Yeah. It's sad.
Don't know.
It's sad.
Don't know.
But I'm not saying it out loud. But just rest well knowing I'm sure as hell thinking it, as are we all. Sure. All right, next in the news, we've got Kentucky governor vetoes bill protecting female athletes from trans competition. We have some GOP types out there that right now are really screwing the pooch. Kentucky Governor Andy Beshear, Democrat, vetoed a... I'm sorry, Democrat. It's who was the other? It was another state that was a Republican that actually vetoed. Anyway, Kentucky Governor Andy Beshear, Democrat, vetoed a bill on Wednesday that would have prevented female athletes from having to compete against biological males identifying as women from 6th grade up to college. But listen to the reason why he did this, because I knew they were going to say this. This is what they do for every single thing out there regarding race and sexuality. The vetoed bill would have required athletes to compete in sports according to their gender. Beshear, is not the only governor to recently veto bills intended to protect women's sports from transgender competition. Utah Governor Spencer Cox, Republican, and Indiana Governor Eric Holcomb, Republican, also rejected similar bills. Now, here's the thing. I also want to know what else is in that bill, those bills they rejected.
Mm-hmm.
Because they've done the same thing to many many politicians out there saying, you voted against this bill. Why? It's like, did you read the bill in its entirety? Because when it's an omnibus bill, there's all kinds of pork in that bad boy. It's not just a singular issue bill. So sometimes a lot of times, Democrats and Republicans will put massive things in these bills that they know Republicans are going to vote no on, and then interject a little, this is a pro-LGBT thing. And then when they vote no, it's like, they voted against this LGBT proposal. Like, yeah, but you didn't talk about the other thing that's in that bill that we clearly can't let fly, which may be a violation of the Second Amendment of some sort. This is the game that they play. And it's disgusting. That's why Ted Cruz was talking and pushing for essentially requiring single-issue bills. No more omnibus bills, which I agree with.
Yeah, I do too.
It's a single bill. This is the issue. The reason that politicians don't want to do this is it basically breaks down the negotiation process, and you can't play this cat and mouse game anymore. Now it's literally issue by issue by issue, and you either choose yes or no. Pro 2A, anti 2A, pro this, pro whatever. No more like hardcore debate or adding things. It's like, no, it's either a yes or no. That's all there is to it.
Yeah, I personally think those scumbags put things in there that just benefit themselves. So they could go out and hire their relatives to take care of some of this stuff, and they get a kickback, 10%.
Hunter Biden.
Yeah, on the back end.
Yeah. I don't doubt it.
If I had a guess.
Yeah. Well, the reasoning that the Democrat has vetoed says transgender children deserve public officials' efforts to demonstrate that they are valued members of our communities through compassion, kindness, and empathy, even if not understanding, the governor said. How does requiring one to compete in their own gender's sport devalue them in any way, shape, or form? How does that not show compassion, kindness, and empathy? Even though you're trans, you can still compete. You just have to do it as your biological sex.
You could.
That's what are you talking about?
You can even wear a women's swimsuit if you want to.
If you want to go play men's soccer and wear a women's swimsuit, be my guest. I don't give a shit. I'm going to laugh at you. You're a weirdo, but yeah.
Do it.
Do it.
If that's who you feel like you are.
No. This is how bad it's got, man. This is how stupid it is. It's pathetic at this point, but what are you going to do? But that's on the radar. I don't know why these Republicans did it, but again, like I said, I'd have to look at the bills and say, okay, what else was in this bill?
Mm-hmm.
And Breitbart's reporting this, so I would have hoped that Breitbart would have at least looked into these bills like, wait a minute, why was this bill vetoed?
Right.
Was it because of this, or was there other shit in that bill that they just said no? I don't know. Great news here. Republicans take 3 Waukesha school board seats after critical race theory backlash. Wisconsin's Waukesha school board will add new members to its ranks after Tuesday's election. So all 3 Republican-backed candidates win, unseating 2 incumbents. The Republican sweep comes into critical race theory and gender ideology in schools have brought parents into the process to fight back. The candidates, Carrie Cowsley, Mark Browski, and Markel Moorer, were all backed by the Republican Party of Waukesha County in a race that is typically nonpartisan. The 2 incumbents came in 5th and 6th place behind another apparent liberal newcomer who also did not win. According to the Milwaukee Journal Sentinel, 4th place candidate Sarah Harrison was concerned with the new board member saying they followed national Republican speaking points designed to stir fear in voters. That's rich coming from Democrats, but okay. Mm-hmm. But the Republican candidates ran on falling academic performances in local schools and countered that the local school board has lagged under a liberal bias out of touch with parents' concerns. Yeah, I agree with that. The Waukesha community and others around the country have spoken loud and clear. They want change, so we are charged with giving it to them. I look forward to the work ahead to improve our school district for our kids and community. See what you get? You see what you get? You elect Democrats, you get groomers. You elect Republicans, it's like, get the fuck out of my school. No drag queens in here. No, go away, you weirdos. Go away. Nut jobs. Get out of here. We don't want you near our kids. It's disgusting. That's just the way it is. But this is, again, it's a sign of things to come. People are tired of this. So as Democrats continue pushing the CRT and all this other stuff, it's going to blow up in your face. But all that the essentially liberal black people are going to do is just double down on this and just decry racism. You don't want us teaching CRT because you just secretly hate black people. No, because all you're trying to do is just spin a narrative that essentially is trying to put guilt on the contemporary whites, and I'm not having it. I'm not going to have it. And if by fighting back that makes me, by virtue, a racist according to you, I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
Take you and your CRT and fuck right off because you were never a slave. And you were not oppressed.
Nope. Not even a little bit.
Not even a little bit. These people are idiots. Yeah. All these people that endorse this bullshit from like the left are just morons.
When would you rather be alive in history?
Right? Yeah.
You know, as a As a black person.
Speaking of black racists.
The 1800s or right now?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, right now for sure.
Right.
Yeah. Medical technology, we have, better quality of life, access to
you could
fucking
say that with
everything.
any race, really.
Yeah, absolutely.
What age would you rather be alive? Like, I don't know, right now?
MSNBC silent. Imagine if there was a white news anchor that said half of the shit that Joy Reid has said. This woman has said some very controversial shit.
She's a total racist.
She is a racist. She is a black racist. She hates white people, and MSNBC continues to have her on there because they know if they fire her, they will get sued for racism. This is what her type of people does. They are cancerous, they are dangerous, they are disgusting, and they undermine every actual good intended movement out there for equality. They are the ones that muddy the water. These are the Jesse Jacksons and Al Sharptons. These are the grifters. They don't give a damn about a cause or a movement.
No.
They just care about being a figurehead that rakes in money. Joy Reid claimed, listen to this. Remember the article I just read to you about the bill earlier? The incorrect bill that they were mislabeling? Joy Reid's already all over this. She's already all over this. Joy Reid claimed Republicans were the pro-rape and pro-child marriage party. The pro-rape comes from probably the abortion stance of if a woman is raped, many Republicans are still saying that she still is required to have the child. Okay? That's where that pro-rape thing comes in, which is bullshit. And the pro-child marriage party comes from the bill out of Tennessee, which clearly she did not read. It's not in there. Your last name is Reid, even though it's spelled differently, Reid. I mean, take a clue, for fuck's sakes. Joy Reid's MSNBC colleagues are silent as she continues her pattern of controversial and often bizarre or hateful remarks on the liberal network. On Monday, during an interview with failed New York City mayoral candidate Maya Wiley, the MSNBC host made a comparison between Senate Republicans opposing Supreme Court nominee Ketanji Brown Jackson as past segregationists, the Dixiecrats. You mean your own party? Okay, fair enough. Let's go with that. What about the fact that they don't want to nominate her because she's just too light on child pornographers? Y'all are instead shifting the focal point from the fact that this woman was very light on child pornographers to making it about race. But that's what race baiters like Joy Reid do. That's what these disgusting black racists do. That's sad. But you get away with it because of your black privilege.
Yeah, she's a racist who happens to be black.
100%.
Yeah,
100%. And this is the sad part about it. On Monday, do you think, or I quote, do you think ultimately the history books, do you think they'll even care that they'll come down on the Dixiecrat side of history here? Reid asked before, reiterated her Dixiecrat comparison on Twitter. This woman just has a face that, oh God, where's Will Smith when you need him? Where's Will Smith when you need him? The MSNBC host again attacked the GOP last month over Jackson's Supreme Court nomination, which she said that Republicans were treating her like a black shopper that they were following through the store. Reid's history of using politically and racially charged language on MSNBC dates back to her first week morning talk show, AM Joy, but her commentary since then has become more acute and pervasive since landing her own weeknight primetime show, The Readout. 2 weeks after the Russian invaded Ukraine, Reid suggested the international response to the conflict would be less significant if the country was under attack, was not white and largely Christian. Reid often uses her platform to, I don't want to keep reading this. You see what a piece of shit this human filth is. This is why America is divided. These people right here that do this on both sides. This is the stupidity of it. It's intellectual dishonesty is what this is. Marjorie Taylor Greene did it with the fake joke. You know what you're doing. Now you're playing and you're participating in this game, trying to fire shots across the aisle, but ultimately all you're really doing is just dumbing down America. This is pathetic. This is stupid. This serves no point or purpose. Good news, hundreds descend on Disney headquarters in California to push back against studios' woke LGBTQAI2. Dude, fuck that alphabet bullshit. Just call it the alphabet mob. Like, what is it, like, what? LGBTQAI2S, LMNOP, QRS, get the fuck out of here with this bullshit. Hundreds of protesters descended on Disney corporate headquarters in Burbank, California on Wednesday evening to voice their dissent over the studio's hard-left political turn and embrace of the woke LGBT agenda. Some of the demonstrators chanted boycott Disney, while a woman who identified herself as a conservative Disneyland worker spoke about the difficulty of working for Disney as someone who holds conservative values. The peaceful demonstration organized by the Christian group Hold the Line took place in front of the main gate of Disney headquarters. The Disneyland worker addressed the crowd by urging fellow conservative Disney employees to stand up for themselves. I'm a cast member here. Well, for Disneyland, actually. I have been with them for quite a long time, the woman said. It's gotten very political, and it's gotten very hard to be who you are. It has gotten very hard to be someone who has conservative values, someone who believes in the right to choose, somebody who believes that it is okay to stand up for righteousness. It is okay to stand up for righteousness. She continued, any Disney cast members that are afraid to be bold, that are afraid to be courageous, stand up. It's okay. You're not alone. There's a sizable crowd there. Hold the Line identifies itself as a Christian activist group and is headed by musician and author Sean Fucht. The group held anti-lockdown protests during COVID-19 pandemic. Wednesday's protest in Burbank comes amid widespread public backlash against Disney's decision to embrace wokeness and gay activism, to incorporate the activism into its movies and TV shows for children. Again, why do you think they're going after the kids with this? Parents, why do you think they're trying to push this on your children? They are trying to indoctrinate them. They are trying to increase their numbers and ranks. Disney executives recently caved to a far left wing of its employee base, vowing to fight Florida's parental rights and education law, which bars the teaching of sexuality and gender ideology to kids in kindergarten, and they failed. They failed at that. It passed. Suck a dick! It passed.
I mean, but what's going on right now is still you have like Disney taking this stance.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So, I mean, you know who, have you ever heard of the firm BlackRock? It's a investment firm run by this guy. His name like Larry Fink, I think. Yeah. And so they invest. They've got like $10 trillion that they invest. So they've got these people. Let's say they go to Disney and say, "Hey, listen, if you don't take this particular stance, we're going to pull all of our investment out of Disney, and then you're going to see your stock drop." So it comes down to this guy having incredible amounts of power to sway these companies into whichever direction he wants. So I don't even necessarily think that's the position that Disney wants to take, but more that's the position that they're being forced to take. But either way, if you're going to lose millions and millions of dollars
versus trillions and trillions of dollars, which one are you going to take?
Well, I mean, not just that, but at the end of the day, if you're going to, take a stance on one side or another, you're going to lose ultimately.
Yeah.
So,
or you just don't take a stance.
They're trying to. This guy Larry Fink is trying to force these companies into making a choice to.
I can understand
take
that.
On these.
But that'd just be one of those that I would just. If I was a Disney CEO, I'd just come out and be like, "We are not taking a stance," and our blah blah blah. I would even put that as like our investors saying that if we don't, we'd be pulling shit.
That's what they should do.
That's what they should do.
I mean, if that is actually what's happening,
100%. If that's what's happening, yeah.
If that's actually what's happening, that's exactly what they should do.
You'd probably rally support on both sides. Like they're trying to leverage this against us. We're not taking a stance. Hey guys, we're just a family theme park. We just want you to have a good time and charge you like $20 for a hot dog. That's it. You're just making a dime. You know?
Of course, after seeing some of these animators and stuff like that, putting gay undertones on everything that they're fucking doing, then it might be time to look at
I think Disney's
the content that you're putting out.
It's going downward. It's spiraling downwards. It's gotten worse.
We canceled our Disney subscription.
Yeah.
We took our kids to Disney a couple of years ago and had a great time.
Yeah.
I mean,
I was going to go, but then after this stuff, I was like, no, I'm not going. I was like, I'm not giving you my money.
Because when I was a kid, I got to go. We had a good time. And
that's a part of every great childhood. Yeah, I'll give you that. But it was just, it's really sad to see them do this. Like, why can't you just be a theme park? Yeah. Why do you have to do this? But, they made their choice. So be it. But right now, this isn't shocking. Mitch McConnell donates to Liz Cheney. What? These scumbag politicians, man. I tell you what.
Oh, yeah.
The ringleader of the establishment Republican, Senator Mitch McConnell, announced on Thursday a donation to Democrat ally Representative Liz Cheney's, a Republican, at Wyoming re-election campaign. Cheney, who's no longer recognized as a Republican by the Wyoming GOP, has received a campaign contribution from Senate GOP leader McConnell, told Axios. When asked if he will hold a fundraiser or other campaign event with Cheney, McConnell redirected the conversation back to his lane of Senate business. McConnell and Cheney apparently believe the Wyoming member may lose her seat to Trump-endorsed Harriet Hageman, a strong threat to the establishment Republicans' order in Washington, D.C. With Hageman catching momentum heading into the August 16th GOP primary, former President George Bush has also donated the legal maximum amount to Cheney. McConnell and Bush are joined in their support of Cheney by failed presidential candidate Mitt Romney In March, Romney delivered a speech at a closed fundraiser for the embattled Cheney. Wow. All these freaking rhinos, dude. All these rhinos.
Well, how do you think that Supreme Court justice just got nominated?
No, we all knew that. Yeah. All these freaking rhinos. Yeah, it's sad to see this. Like, guys, like, these idiots got to be primaried. I'm telling you.
She was confirmed 53-47, thanks to Susan Collins, Murkowski, and Romney.
Oh, so she has been confirmed?
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah, I mean,
we got somebody. Yeah, we knew it was going to go through.
Right.
You put a black woman up there. Oh God, yeah, that's going through.
Pedophiles all over the country.
Absolutely
rejoiced.
You know who hasn't said anything? Like the Asian community. Where's the Asians? Like, hey, where's an Asian Supreme Court justice? You don't see the Asians giving a fuck.
Hispanic,
yeah. Well, no, it wasn't. Oh fuck, what's her name?
Sotomayor.
Yeah.
Is she?
I'm not sure.
It doesn't matter to me.
I honestly don't give a fuck. I don't care how many white or black I don't care. It's just as long as they interpret the Constitution accurately. That's all I give a shit about.
Unfortunately, she's.
But it's just that's what they make this
left
about,
leaning.
So, and then last but most certainly not least, we've got exclusive Peter Schweitzer slam dunk case to indict Hunter Biden on tax evasion. Breitbart News senior contributor and Government Accountability Institute GAI President Peter Schweitzer said during a Republican Study Committee RSC meeting that there was a slam dunk case to indict Hunter Biden on charges of tax evasion, Breitbart News has learned exclusively. Schweitzer, the author of Red-Handed: How American Elites Get Rich Helping China Win, spoke to the RSC members about his book, which focuses on, oh God, this guy's just pushing a fucking book. Never mind. Fuck you, Breitbart. What are you doing? Come on. It's just a book promo. Like, they're not actually going to do anything. I got to start reading this shit before I get it. Nah, that's just such a disappointment. Because automatically in my mind, I'm like, but they're probably not going to do anything about it. Probably, what are you going to do?
Write a book?
Yeah. Like, what are you going to do? So, but anyway, that concludes today's episodes, ladies and gentlemen. We want to say thank you for tuning in today. We appreciate all of your love and support. Thank you for sharing the podcast. All of that stuff. We really do appreciate all that you do for us, supporting shellshockcbd.com. And don't forget, right now,
I got this far, but when I started, I wasn't even a bill. I was just an idea.
Oh, my God. We still have the watermelon Fallout gummies that are THC free. You will not fail a drug test. You can buy one bag, get one bag completely free with the 30 count or 60 count watermelon Fallout gummies. The deal is there. Again, it is there. You can buy one bag, get another bag completely free of the 25 milligram CBD Fallout gummies that are THC free. You will not fail a drug test. But if you need something to calm you down, reduce stress, actually, I'm going to take some of that stuff here soon. We got you covered.
It's great. It's really, really good stuff.
It really is. So again, check us out at shellshockcbd.com. Come drop me a follow over on Twitch at @TheJohnBurke, where we stream daily on the podcast. And until then, until tomorrow, you got anything to add, my man?
I love you guys.
We will see y'all tomorrow. And as always, you stay savage, man.